Hello everybody, I am Michael and today I want to help you setting up your own template in Cubase and Vienna Ensemble Pro. This is just an example, this is just the way I do it. For sure there are other ways, but this is basically it, and it gives you a first idea, and I think it could give you the right tools to do it your own way. First of all, we are going to create our contact player, and again, not a 16 or 8 out, the normal one. Then we are moving to the output section. As you can see below, we have to raise the quantity because we want to have 16 outs for the 16 instruments we may be able to put in. Then we have to sort everything. This is really important. And you can see how I'm doing this. You have to do it through the whole line. So even if it seems a bit weird that I am choosing the aux tracks, this is the way we have the line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at the bottom. We have to do it for all the 16 outputs we want to choose, or better to say, we want to be able to choose off. And at the end, the aux tracks, we will just send them to some random unassigned outputs. Can do the same for all of them. Let's just suggest we have done this for all the outputs. Then it is important for us to save these outputs and to give these presets a name. I have already done this. My preset name is 16 pre. This is my preset, and I just click on it, and there you can see how it should look when it's done. So this is our basis that we can use if we load all the different kind of instruments in it. Now we're going to load some instruments into our project to be able to create a small working template. For this example, I'm just using the spiccato patch for violin 1, 2, viola, cello and double bass from Berlin strings. It has nothing to do with the library or anything, it's just because it's loading fast and it's really easy to make the point with it or to give you the idea how this should work in the end. Now we have the outputs, and with this wonderful batch function, clear output thing, we can sort everything. Kontakt is routing the outputs correctly from the instrument to the Kontakt output setting. It's doing everything for us. After configuring the outputs within Kontakt, we have to go to this plus sign here, and we have to add 4 tracks. So with the first one we have 5 because we have 5 instruments. Then we have to route the outputs. And we can do this a bit faster with a key switch. So each one has its own output. This is very important because we want to route everything one by one. Don't forget the all in top. Now we are in Cubase. I just give all the 5 MIDI tracks that we are using a name so that I better know what's going on. Just renaming everything. And these 5 MIDI tracks are sending their signal in the Vienna instance. Now it is very important to activate all outputs of our Vienna connection in Cubase. This way it is possible to send all the separate signals from Kontakt in Vienna Ensemble Pro to Cubase. Here we can find all these outputs. To make it a bit easier, I just rename them as well. I just want to say again how important it is to name everything correctly and to keep the overview about everything. And you see I am just changing the visibility because there are a lot of tracks that I actually don't need to see, and it's way too full with that. So find your way through it. It is really good if you have a good overview. So now I'm going to add some group tracks. I need these group tracks to bring all my instruments together, to create my stem, to create my mix and master track, to create my parallel compression, and for my reverbs I will create some FX tracks, but we will come to this later. First of all, I'm going to give all my group channels the correct names. You can see I'm already typing in again violin 1, violin 2, viola and cello. The reason for this is pretty easy. There will be way more violins from other libraries, but they are all coming together here. The violins up there, and in Vienna they are just from the Berlin strings. But for example, I could also use violins from Cinematic Studio strings, who knows. And then, as you can see, I've created a stem strings where the violin 1, 2, viola, cello, double bass will come together. I have a mix and I have a master. Now I'm creating parallel compression for each of my channels up there, for violin 1, violin 2, viola. I'm just moving them up. It is also always good if you color everything correctly. So it's again helping you to keep the overview. Every one of you can use his or her own color scheme, but this is just the way I do it. So now we need the FX tracks for our reverbs. There will be a long reverb and a short reverb. For the short reverb I will use Altiverb, and for the long reverb I will use Valhalla. By now I'm just placing these effects. It's very important that they all are 100% mix, but these are not the rooms and the presets that I'm using. This is just like for the basic setup of my template. Now, after doing all of this, I have to route everything correctly. These are going into our violin 1, violin 2, viola, cello and double bass stems. Again, if you have several string libraries, it makes sense to have all strings coming together here at first. And all of these stems are going into stem strings. And it is very important that the output of the reverb is also on stem strings. And stem strings is going to a mix, and the mix is going to the master. Now we have to create sends. This whole section has to go to reverb strings short and reverb strings long. And the sections violin 1, 2, viola, cello and double bass will get a send to their designated parallel compression channel, always directly to the right. So now we have to activate everything. Two important things. The reverb setting isn't the final one. I just activated that. You can see how it should look. And the parallel compression should have a change in pre-fader, so that the signal is always the pure signal, and the signal reaching the parallel compression will not be affected by using the volume on the original channel. So if you are lowering the volume at violin 1, it will not affect the parallel compression. Now we have to find out if I've done the routing correctly. Therefore we will just go and create a little loop. Now you can see, here's the signal. It's been sent to Vienna Ensemble Pro to contact. It has the right output. It's going to the right way in contact. It would also be nice to rename everything correctly in Vienna Ensemble Pro. And here you can see output is going all the right way into violin 1, parallel compression of violin 1. You can already see the way to stem strings, but we also want to see the reverb working out nicely, and it's going to mix, master and stereo out. So everything is going well as it should go. When creating your template, please decouple all your instances. This way, corruption of the files is way more rare to happen, and if anything will happen to your Cubase session, the Vienna files aren't corrupted, and vice versa. Another important part is also that Cubase will save way faster, because it only has to save its own project and will not have to take care of all the Vienna Ensemble Pro files. This is my basic way of setting up my template. There are other approaches, and maybe they are better for you, but this is working out nicely for me, and I hope I can give you an idea of how to set up your routing. I will also add a PDF. You can find a download link in the description, where I will write down the whole way of the routing process. I hope that I could help you with this video, and if you have any other wishes or ideas or questions, just write it in the comments. If you want to see a special tutorial about something in Cubase or Vienna Ensemble Pro, just write it down, and I hope that I will be able to help you with that. Till then, I wish you a good time and enjoy creating amazing music. Bye bye!